Discover the country where you can buy a new wife at the market. Throughout history, various ethnic groups have inhabited the planet. Each of these groups developed its own societies in the areas where they settled, creating distinct cultures, traditions, and ways of life. These unique characteristics serve to differentiate them from one another, giving them a unique identity. A notable example is the Roma, also known by some as gypsies, who have preserved their culture over hundreds of years by adopting peculiar lifestyles in various nations. They trace their roots back to northern India. The individuals now known as Roma or gypsies are of Indian origin. Historical accounts suggest that around the year 420 AD, these groups began migrating from northern India to Afghanistan and Pakistan towards the west. Selected destinations included countries like England, Greece, Bulgaria, Romania, and Turkey. Currently, the global Roma population is estimated to be around 8 million. There are various theories attempting to explain why the Roma left India and moved westward. Some suggest they were forcibly taken as slaves by rulers in the 1st century, while others indicate they migrated to serve as mercenaries in wars, subsequently settling in Western states. A striking characteristic of the Roma is the preservation of their lifestyle and culture wherever they settle. Despite being known for their love of dance, the Roma often live on the fringes of society in most countries, not fully accepted by local communities, which tend to keep a certain distance from them. This social isolation can be attributed in part to the behavior of the Roma themselves, who tend to keep a distance from the broader society. For example, it is common for them to withdraw their children from schools at a young age, live in closed communities, and prefer marriages within their ethnic group, reinforcing their separation from society as a whole. In Bulgaria, the Roma live in a segregated manner, resulting in tense relations both with Bulgarians and among themselves. According to some sources, Bulgarian Roma tend to avoid formal employment, occupying vacant lands that they adapt to their needs. Over time, these places transform into exclusive Roma neighborhoods, further accentuating the division between them and the rest of society. The main cause of the distant relationship between Bulgarians and Roma seems to be evident in the disorderly lifestyle of the Roma and their apparent disregard for social norms, causing discomfort among Bulgarians. Previously, the Roma population in Bulgaria was larger. However, with Bulgaria's entry into the European Union and the subsequent opening of borders, many Roma migrated to other European countries, reducing their presence in Bulgaria. Currently, Bulgarian Roma mostly reside in areas resembling slums located in less developed rural regions of cities. These areas inhabited by the Roma are notably neglected by the government, characterized by poorly maintained roads, peeling paint on houses, and poorly kept green spaces. The quality of life in these places is considerably lower than that of a typical village with old houses and individual gardens or apartment buildings. To better understand the social dynamics of the Roma in this country, it is interesting to observe the tradition of bride markets. These circumstances have led Bulgarian Roma to maintain a rather unusual tradition that is carried out annually. This tradition is so unique that impoverished communities see it as an opportunity for a life change. In Bulgaria, where unemployment is high and most people live modestly, the Roma, with an even lower standard of living, have found a way to improve their conditions through their daughters. In ancient Anatolian culture, it was common for the groom's family to pay a dowry to the bride's father, a custom often depicted in old movies. This dowry was given as a wedding gift, and the bride left the family. Over time, this practice evolved in many countries, and the idea of a cash dowry faded away. Currently, in countries like Turkey, money is not directly paid to brides, but the bride's family may request gifts in gold, such as bracelets, necklaces, and earrings. They may also require the groom to cover most wedding expenses. In Bulgaria, what happens with the Roma is a commercialized version of this practice. Families withdraw their daughters from school after primary education and prepare them for marriage, selling them in a way at open-air markets. The Bulgarian government does not impose sanctions against this practice. During certain times of the year, these markets are held, attracting people from various regions of Bulgaria, where girls are handed over to strangers in exchange for money. Although many consider it an archaic and primitive custom, this tradition persists among the Kale Roma clan in Bulgaria, seen by local Roma as part of their culture. On the day the bride market is held, there is an atmosphere of excitement and anticipation in the homes of Roma families. Girls strive to present themselves in the most elegant and attractive way possible. For example, families begin preparations a year in advance, acquiring expensive clothes and shoes to enhance their daughter's elegance. Once preparations are complete, they are taken to the market. The surprising aspect is that Roma girls participate in these events voluntarily and seem content with the situation, perhaps due to their limited interaction with the broader society. They view these markets as a valuable opportunity in their lives. Furthermore, the price set for each girl in the market varies based on age and appearance, determined by the father. Usually, an 18-year-old girl has a higher value than a 25-year-old one. If a high offer is made for a daughter, the family feels great pride and often mentions it frequently. Whether the person herself married this way or not, she takes pride in how much she was worth at that time. Roma families usually go together to the bride market, typically on Sundays. According to information, the amount the groom's family must spend to obtain an average bride varies between 50,000 and 100,000 levas, and sometimes even up to 75,000 in some cases. In Bulgaria, the income is low compared to other European countries, and the levy has a high value. Sums like 50,000 levas are considered extremely high. In fact, the levy is the local currency of Bulgaria. The concept of money is highly valued, and the amount designated for the dowry is seen as sufficient. Interestingly, features like blue eyes, which are rarer in Bulgaria, can influence an increase in the price. Additionally, it is common for the bride and groom's families to meet for the first time at the market to avoid prior acquaintances. During the school period, almost no Roma girl continues her studies after primary education. Roma children, both boys and girls, are taken to these markets from the age of 14 for marriage, indicating very young marriages. Consequently, it is rare to see Roma participating in social life in Bulgaria, as marrying their daughters through bride markets is considered more appropriate. It is essential to highlight that these customs of the Bulgarian Roma do not represent all Roma communities worldwide. The bride markets held by the Calais Roma are conducted in Stara Zagora, one of the largest cities in Bulgaria with a significant Roma population. These open-air markets, held at certain times of the year, attract many visitors from across Europe to Stara Zagora, contributing to the local economy. In Bulgarian Roma weddings, there are important criteria to consider. The bride's family seeks the wealthiest groom possible, while for the groom, the bride should be the youngest and most attractive possible. Marriage on these terms is based purely on external criteria, such as physical appearance and wealth, and can be seen as a mutually beneficial marriage. However, the Roma have a distinctive feature. Even coming from different tribes, they can establish connections and integrate quickly with each other. For example, after the agreement is made at the wedding market, a celebration is organized at the bride's house with the participation of the groom. These celebrations include dances and music, central elements in Roma culture, allowing them to keep their cultural traditions alive without assimilation. The Roma value living in the moment, prioritizing joy and entertainment without much concern for economics or the future. In summary, they find fulfillment in their own midst and proudly maintain their traditions. Roma neighborhoods with their unique cultural characteristics can be found in many parts of the world. These communities are a testament to the cultural richness of the Roma and their ability to preserve their identity over time, despite various influences and challenges faced in recent decades. New technologies have played a crucial role in forming new relationships, reducing the importance and popularity of traditional wedding fairs. Currently, many members of the Calais ethnicity are finding their romantic partners through social networks. The tradition of the dowry remains relevant, whether the couple met at the fair or not, demonstrating that this practice is a constant in their culture. After marriage, Romani women are traditionally responsible for obeying their husbands and dedicating themselves to the care of the home and family. Thank you for staying until the end. Like and comment below if you were familiar with this Romani tradition.